Hello, everybody. This is George Lopez here, and I have my partner here, Celia, who is approximately 6 feet behind me as we present this. As you can see by our little starting screen, we are in control today. So our director, Josh, has given us the control here. So we will be leading this PD. We also have one of our TOSAs, Ana Cordero, who is waiting in the wings to present today, but we wanted to go ahead and start by making an announcement. But before we do that, a couple of things. Remember that if you ever have any questions for our department, the best place to reach us is at edtech@alisal.org. We will all get that, and you will probably get the quickest response this way. For our presentation today, we are using the same link that we always use with regards to questions. If you have any questions, there it is, bit.ly/AUSD live PDQ. Remember, it is case sensitive, so send us those questions in as we're going in. So with that being said, we wanted to share with you an update, and we really wanted to show you this live from my computer, but it turns out that these features are live on my computer at home under this account, but not live in this computer. So that goes to say that some of you may see these options already, and some of you may not. Just as I explained that example, if you do not see these updates yet in your Google Meet, you don't need to do a help desk ticket. Google is rolling these out. They usually roll out these types of features in a staggered manner, so you may not see these yet. But we did want to let you know that these are there. A couple of things. These are just updates for Hangout. For Meets, for Google Meets. And if you want more information, it was previewed in our weekly this past Wednesday. So if you want more information, you can find the information in our weekly. But I wanted to share with you that these are some of the changes that you will see. You will see this little on the bottom left-hand side of your screen. You will see a little blue shield with a lock in it, and that is where you have access. That's one place where you can access these new settings. The other place to do it is on the bottom right-hand side of your Google Meet. You will see the settings, and once you click on the little cog here, you will see these settings here. So if really quickly, what settings do you see in there? First of all, we have this quick access option that you as a teacher can turn on and off really quickly. And it gives, here's what it does. So I'll let you I won't read that to you, but you can see what this does. And this is something you may want to try if you have people coming in that should be, or perhaps, see which setting works best for you. But that's definitely a really cool feature, the quick access, and this is what it does. Now, the other piece on here is being able to share the screen. You can turn these two settings off. Do you want to allow participants, perhaps your students or other colleagues that you're working with, do you want them to allow them to share their screen when you are the host? And the other thing is turn off chat. So perhaps, you are in a meet, an asynchronous lesson with your students, and you want to turn off the chat while you are doing a presentation. You can turn it off and on as the host. So really cool thing, really cool features on there. And this is just the beginning. So if you want to know more about what's coming, again, please keep a lookout on our weekly and take a look at this past Wednesday's weekly. That will give you more information. With that being said, we're going to go ahead now and throw it over to our colleague, Ana Cordero, who will be going over something that a lot of you requested. You wanted to know what access and how to use the digital resources and Wonders and Maravillas. So with that being said, I will go ahead and pass the baton over to you, Ana. So feel free to share your screen when you are ready.
Okay, I'm going to wait till you share your screen. You are presenting still, George? Okay. Now it's me.
There you go, Ana. You should be ready.
Perfect. So here we go. How is the sound? The sound is good?
We can hear sound. We can see your screen. So whenever you're ready.
Perfect. So let's start presenting. So good afternoon, everybody. And today, as George said, we are putting this presentation together just in response to your requests. So before we started, I would like to say that there are plenty There are too many resources on Wonders and Maravillas, our adopted curriculum, and it's not possible to do all those resources in 1 hour. So I have chosen 3 areas, and that seems like most of the people that contact me are the areas that they want to have a review, or just to have a little bit more of exploration. Those areas are going to be how to plan with the weekly planner, how to teach using the resources, and how to assign work to the students. So there are 2 main ways to assign work to the students. The first way is just through Wonders, but uh, on, in collaboration with Google Classroom. Let's say that there is a line. And then the other one is just strictly through Wonders. The third area that we are going to explore today is just those resources that are on Wonders and Maravillas that will be for differentiation of instruction. So before we start, here you are going to receive this presentation. It's going to be in the website, in the remote instruction website. So when you have this presentation, you click here in the link. So as you see this link, and this takes you to a video. So in the video um, is kind of a compilation of little video clips talking about all what Wonders is, the components of the program and the online resources. So if you want to really go into the online resources, you start in the video clip that is 137. Once you go there, you can review many things that I'm saying in this presentation. If you have questions, you always can view the presentation again or put the question specifically in the question form that you always do. And if someone needs personalized support, I will contact you. Okay, so said that, welcome to the online exploration of Wonders Maravillas. So these are our learning intentions for today. We are going to learn, or I'm going to learn, how to plan using the digital planning feature in Wonders and Maravillas. We are going to learn how to assign activities to students through both Wonders connected with Google Classroom and Wonders alone. And we are going to also differentiate some of those resources that are online, so we can assign to the individual students or a group of students. So this is our success criteria. I can customize my planning with the weekly planner to fit the needs of my students. I can assign activities in Wonders Maravillas and connect them to my Google Classroom. I can send Wonders Maravillas differentiated assignments to my students. So I hope that after we finish this presentation, we will be able to do these things. Through the presentation, there will be 3 times when I'm going to stop and we will take questions. So please send all your questions through the form. So I connect to Wonders through here. You connect differently because I don't have a classroom connected to my login. I use the logins for the publishers. What the logins for the publisher gives me is access to every single grade level, Wonders and Maravillas. So I put this in here because if you wanted to explore some of the resources that are in other grade levels, you may use this. The only problem is you cannot assign work from this login, but you can just maybe look at some activities or kind of make a screenshot, or so it gives you an idea of other things that you can do. When you log in, you have to log in through your portal, not for the support one, through your regular portal, because that is connected with your classroom. So let's start our digital exploration. Ready to navigate through Wonders Maravillas. So these are the 3 areas that I said that we were going to do: plan and teach, manage and assign, and then let's look at those differentiated resources. So the first part is when we plan and teach, we are going to look at the planner that is in there. We can customize the planner. So we will see some of the options. We will see if we don't want some of the lessons that are in there, we can put it in the lesson bin, and we can launch the presentation and customize the presentation. So this screen is a little bit different than the one that you have. And once we finish in here, I will do on-time virtual presentation. So you will see things that I explain here right now, how you have it in your platform. Because this is a little bit different, because in yours, you only have plan and you have manage and assign. And then you have here resources, and you have the professional development under a different tab. But you have the plan tab. So that is why I don't mind to use this slide. So we are going to go to plan. And when we go to plan, we find the weekly planner here. We see the days of the week over here, and we see all the activities that are for those particular days. And we can open the activities in the whole group, in the small group. We can have the whole group language charts. We can have intervention. We can have also English language learners, which is a little bit down in the screen. So here in the plan area is where we customize our planning if you want to do your planning digitally. So it's very important that we know about this feature. So when you go over here in the planner options, if you want to do only the core path from Wonders, you need to have this on. And what means to have the core path are those things that we must teach. So we must teach those things. These are essential components of the program. So right now, because we cannot teach everything, this is a very good feature that we can have on, because it's going to hide all those lessons that it can be the may do. So right now I have only the must do's, and even the must do's I can customize it. So sometimes if I don't want this lesson over here, I can drag simply to another day, or I can drag it simply to the lesson holding bin. And in that way, I will have what I have planned for that day or for that week that fits exactly in the needs of our students. It's very easy. It's just drag boxes all around. But remember, just have on the core pathway. So once we have our presentation ready to launch, this is the part where we teach. I already did my lesson planning, it's in there. If I move things in my lesson planning, all the resources are going to be moved in the order that I prepare for my class. So let's say that the presentation, usually we are going to choose to do it at the beginning, but let's say that I wanted to do this presentation instead of at the beginning, I want to do it on Tuesday. Okay, I can move it then in the resources in Wonders. This will move exactly where I have it in my lesson planner. So that is how we start the unit. We click on launch the presentation, and they have the videos in there to build the background knowledge for the students. So when we are in the presentation, we have all the resources that appear on the top. If we drag this bar all to the right, we will see all the resources for the week. Or if we are in a particular day, we go to the lesson resources, and then we will have the lesson resources for that day. We will see this alive later. But as I said, if you change the order in the weekly planner, the order of the resources will adapt to your new plan. So one important thing that is in there, one important resource or activity is just this digital vocabulary. We can assign this resource to the students, and it has the words that the program is highlighting according to the week or the theme for the week. So if we click in the word, then immediately appears an image where the student can listen how the word is pronounced. They can see the word written. They can see a picture related to that word, and they have a sentence also related to that word. And they can hear the sentence and the word just clicking in this little speaker in there.
Tip, can I give a tip, Anna? Because
Yes,
I know you say using audio. Remember that if you're going to be presenting, you want to make sure that you present it as a tab so that your students on the other end can hear the audio. Because if you don't do tab presenting, they'll
yes.
see but not hear the audio.
Yep, and we have the recording in there. Yep, thank you for the tip. So one other feature that you will find there under the week's games, you find all these interactive activities. These activities are very engaging for when you need to send some work for asynchronous practice. And you know that the students lose interest sometimes, but I'm telling you, these ones have music, movement, colors. It's kind of a game, and they are aligned to what you are teaching during that lesson or that week. So look for where it says this week's games, because those are perfect. As I said, let's send it for asynchro practice. So now let's see that in action. Let me get out of here and let's go to my login. As I said, I log in a different way. So I'm going to show you the bar over here, because here is where everything is. So here is the plan, the weekly planner. We are going to explore the weekly planner first. Then we are going to also explore the manage and assign, because there is where we assign activities to the students. And we are going to explore the resources. In resources, we have many things, and I will have to tell you, it's worth it to take time to explore this tab, because in the resource library, we are going to have all the differentiated level readers and a couple of differentiated books that we can do. We can assign extra work for students that they need an extra push, or those that they are on grade level and they need some enrichment. So these are the three areas that we are going to explore. So let's go to the weekly planner, as we say, and we are going to see. So as you see, in planner options, I have it on. So that means it's hiding what is may do. I don't need that. It's great to have it if I have the time, but especially now in remote instruction that we have very little time and we have to integrate as much as we can, just go to the core path. But if I take this off, look what happens. I have all the activities there. So I have all the activities for Monday, Tuesday, the same. I have a small group in language arts. I have intervention, designated ELD. I have everything there. So once I go to the planner, as I said, I put core pathway on, and now those are the must do's. Okay, so now I need whole group reading. And I look at the activities and I said, you know what? I don't think I'm going to do this today. I'm going to do it tomorrow. I drag it and I put it where it should be. And you know what? I think there are too many activities that are a repetition here. I don't want those activities. I think I'm going to save it for another day. I'm going to put it in the lesson bin and I hold it there. So I can customize this in the way I want. I can put as many or as little as my instruction need and fit the needs of my students. Once I move it, remember all the resources are going to be moved. If I move this from here to Friday, in my resources, when I'm going to plan, this activity is going to be under Friday. It's not going to be anymore under Monday. So that is a really neat feature. So this is fairly simple. Just drag and change and move what you want, move what you don't want to the holding bin, lesson holding bin. I don't want that right now. Okay. Here you can also have the standards if you want, and you have the calendar. If you want to change the calendar, you have the calendar there, and you can click over here and just add non-teaching days or change teaching days that they have here, like non-teaching to teaching days. You can condense lessons, you can delete lessons, you can do many things in the calendar too. But right now we are exploring the weekly planner. So that was the first part, how I'm going to organize my planning digitally if I want to do that. So the second part is just to teach. So let's go to teach. So I have unit 1 and week 3, and this is actually second grade. And more or less everybody is going to be around this week. That is why I have chosen unit 1, week 3. So as I said, you have here the days and the resources for the days. And it is loading. But you see that you have these week games. That is what I told you, just to check on these ones. You have 2 pages in there and see the ones that are interactive for your students and are extra practice. Very engaging. So now, where are all my resources for the week? I go to resources. I go under resource library. And in presentation, here we have all the resources. If I move to the right, I have all the resources for the week. They are all there. I can go to classroom materials too. I can go to lessons. So day 2, those are the ones I'm going to use. Day 4, those are the ones I'm going to use. So it advanced. So, but if you go to in presentation, they are all there. You can open them, you can view them, you can decide which ones you want, which ones you want to assign one day, another day. Because sometimes when we go to the weekly planner and we have only, okay, reading, writing, literature, fiction, we don't know, or phonics blend words with 2 letters, we don't know exactly how is the activity. So you can open it from here too if you want. But particularly I love to open it from here because I see everything there. So over here, let's say that I want this resource. I click on it, it opens. I can view it, I know what they can do. Okay, this is what I want. Great. I have to go back. Let me do one thing. Close it. I have my screen too big. So here is where we have everything. Let me make it a little bit big. So you see, here are all the resources. That is what I wanted to point to you. So that is the first thing. There is our teaching. Can I open the resources from here? Of course. We can go over here to this area and I can click and it will take me to the resource too. And I can open it here, whatever resources are in there. Many different ways to go. Here is the in this resource. Okay. So this is for plan and teach. Let me get off. I'm trying to manage this Zoom. So now it's time for questions. So far, do you have any questions related of planning online or related to finding the resources for teaching every day?
Thank you, Anna. We do actually have a couple of questions. The first one is just maybe a clarification on the tech tools. And so there was a question coming in from Loya. They're asking about the chat feature that George mentioned at the beginning. And so the question is, if you turn off or disable the chat, does that mean that just the students can't type, or are they going to get a message that the chat is turned off? And to clarify, it's just going to disable that feature for them. So we just recently had a meeting with Josh and we were trying out this feature. And so I didn't get a message as one of the participants. So I didn't see anything that like popped up telling the students that chat is turned off. They just simply cannot, they won't be able to type in messages to each other. So that was just a clarification point for them.
Okay, thank you, Celia. Any other question?
Just as a reminder for anybody that might have come in a little bit late, Anna will be stopping several points throughout her presentation to take questions. So please send them in case you missed the beginning of that. You might have missed that piece of it. And she will also be sharing her presentation at the end. So we will make sure that that's located at remoteinstruction.org. So that will be there for you. Just as you're thinking through, Anna, I know later on you're going to talk about this. I think connecting Google Classroom and assigning work to Google Classroom. So there is some questions about that, but we'll wait till maybe you'll answer it during that piece, okay?
Yes, most likely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
If you don't answer it, we'll clarify for you then, okay? So thank you, Julie, from LSL Community for sending that in.
Okay, that is perfect. That is actually one of the things that I'm going to show you how to do. Not only in the presentation is going to be a step by step, then I'm going to demonstrate like I did when I go to the second part that is in action, so you will see how to do that. So any other question related to this first part?
A question just came in about being able to reset the planner. So you were showing the calendar view and how there are certain materials
you could
that
do
go
that
each day. How do you reset everything?
There is a little key in there that it says reset. You see over here, let me do a little bit of zoom. I learned this from George. And you can reset it here and start again. You always can reset. Okay.
The second question, Anna, is thank you, Jen from Steinbeck, for sending this in, is where can I find the whole presentation? It says for the week to teach.
The whole presentation, all the resources for the week?
I believe her quick question particularly relates to where do you find the whole presentation for the whole week? But it looks like, to me, it's broken up by day, right?
Yeah, no, but you can find, if you go to resources over here, and you go to resource library, it's loading. And right now you are in the presentation. This is everything that you are going to have during the week. Did I answer your question? Everything.
It doesn't, I think that probably answers her question. I don't know if she was referring to one presentation at all, but I think all the presentations are there listed, looks like.
All the resources are here. And if you are talking about only the presentation, it will be in the first day. Let's see. Resource library. And in presentation. If you wanted to do the presentation for the week, it will be over here. You will have to find where is it. Because sometimes when they start the unit, they have the presentation. If you refer to the video, they have a video and where they build background knowledge that appears when they start the unit. So let's go to unit 1 and week 2. And let's go to resources. And you see here, family opener, families. And you see, let me do it a little bit bigger. Okay, so depending where you are in the unit, when you open the unit, and they will have that video that is to build background in there, and also they have the weekly opener that is the presentation there. So you find it right at the beginning of that week. Did I answer your question?
Perhaps if you didn't, we'll be getting this to you. And of course, Anna makes herself available. So if you have questions to her, please email her because she might be able to give you more details. But thank you, Anna.
Thank you. Okay, so let's go back. Do we have any other question?
More of a comment on here, and maybe you can see what the question is out of this. I tried to link stories from Wonders through Seesaw, but stories would not load. I want to send to, sorry, it was sent back. It was sent.
Yeah,
Blank
Wonders is not linked to CISO. We have to figure out how we can do that because I receive many questions about can I do it through CISO? No, you can do it. You can link everything to Classroom and everything works perfectly, but not to CISO. They don't have that alignment. We have to figure out different ways. So, any other question?
Just to make sure that we understand the question. So if you notice that we maybe misunderstood your question, feel free to write back in. It's just sometimes it's hard to understand or know what the intent was. But there's a question here about from Cesar Chavez, Ms. Cabrera, asking if there's a page that you can see as a lesson plan page. Is it in calendar? But I think that was part of the planner you were showing us.
From the planner, you will see your planning for the week in the weekly planner. That is what I have found. That is the page where you see everything.
Gotcha. So yeah, just in case we misunderstood, feel free to write back. But that seemed like you answered that question too.
Okay.
I think that might be it for now.
Okay, very good. So let's go to the second part. And if you have more questions like the Celia and George said, just please send them because then I can contact you directly and I can walk with you step by step. Anything that you are a little bit, you want to go deeper into the knowledge of that area. So now we are going to talk about manage and assign. So we are going to assign resources. And we are going to talk about that the audio recorder of the student needs to be on when we assign resources to read, because if not, they won't have that feature. So where we go is first over here in this tab, manage and assign. Okay, so we click on that tab. And when we have that in there, something opens, a window opens, and then we can create an assignment. We can make an assignment. And this is one way we can do it because there are many different ways to do assignments. So you can start doing this from manage and assign, or you can start your assignments from the resources. I usually start them from the resources because it's easier for me. I just click on the gear and I write, I select assign this assignment. So once we select assign to do an assignment, you will get a window where you will have to put the title of the assignment, and we have to do the directions for the students, select the students, select the due date, and this is what I refer, and we will see right now. This is the part that I refer to. So if we are assigning something that we want the student to read, we have to have this on. So if it's something that they don't need to read, you don't have to put that. It can be off. But if it's like a level reader, yes, we need to have it on, especially for those. So to write instructions is fairly easy. Just let's say that we are assigning a level reader. We just write a level reader in there. It doesn't require it for me to review it before they send it, so I put no. It needs to have this on, this part on. I can do my directions here. I can write the due date. It's very self-explanatory. Once I wrote all that, I'm going to select my students. And I can select all my class, or I can select one particular student or a group of students. You can create groups. So if you have your groups created, then you just click and select the group that you are sending it. And once you finish, sorry, this is too sensitive. Once you finish, you assign the work. And the students will receive the work as they log in wonders, because that was a question also that they asked me, how do the students get the work? They get it as soon as they log in the portal. They will have something in there that tells them. Okay. So once that is done, we assign it. And this is the area where we have to see when we teach. We have to have our unit, our week, our day. And we can assign from here too. I can assign directly. If I click in here, as I said, I can assign directly from here. Once I open my resource, the only thing I have to do is just to click on the arrow pointing down. And here it is. I can assign this resource in two ways. Share with Google Classroom, that is the one that we are going to explore now. So I select that. Once I select that, this window appears. And what I have to do is go over here and click in there, because I need to choose my class. I have these classes, these Google Classrooms created. I chose the one with Miss Serrano because I'm a co-teacher in her class, so I can assign to her. And then I can choose an action, and that is the same that you usually have in your Google Classroom. You can create an assignment, you can ask a question, you can make an announcement. So I'm going to create an assignment. That is the action that I'm going to choose. And all this is linked. I mean, you click one thing and then a window open, click another thing, a window open. And it's very easy to assign. And once I have my classroom selected and what I'm going to do, I just click go. And here it is, the window. I have to put the title. Putting the title is very important. If we don't put the title, it won't allow us to assign. And then I can just give some directions in any way you want. Usually it's good to have steps for the students because it's easy to see. And you can assign over here in Classroom. They can do it in Classroom and they can record in CISO if they want. So we can connect both, but not directly. The program doesn't connect anything with CISO, connect with Classroom. I select my student. In this case, Serenity. Serenity was helping me to see what the student received. So she was sharing the screen with me, and thank you to Serenity and Mrs. Serrano, because it was the way I can see what are the students receiving and present it to you now. So once it connects to Classroom, is asking you if you want to have a topic. If you have topics like in Ms. Serrano's class, she has these topics created. She create the topic for reading in there. Then you can select a topic from here. If it's a new topic, you can create directly a topic from here for your classroom. And once it's everything done, I have my classroom here. I have select my students here. I gave them some points. I put my due date. I select in which, under what topic the assignment is going to be, and then I'm going to assign it. Just click in there and it will be assigned. And this is what you receive. You have posted to your classroom. You can view if you click in here to see how the assignment is in your classroom. But this is what the students are going to receive. They will go to Classroom and they will have it under the reading topic in there. You see, this is the one that we select. The student will go to classroom. They will click on the assignment. And once they click on the assignment, this image appear for them. So they have to click and go now. And now comes the tricky part. If the student is not logged in into Wonders Maravillas, they will ask them for username and password. And they don't need this because if they log in through the portal, then this doesn't appear. So before they get to classroom to get an assignment from Wonders, they need to be logged in into Wonders. So they log in like they always do. They go alisal.org, they go to their portal, they put their number and their password, they go to Connect Ed, and once they are logged in, then they click in here, launch, and the resource will open for them to work on it. Oh, this is the other way. So this is one way that we can do. We can assign directly from the resource or the activity in Wonders to our classroom. But what if we don't have a classroom? We can assign through through Wonders. And the students will receive the assignment when they log into the portal, in the Wonders icon in the portal. And this is what the student sees. So once that I assign directly from Wonders, the student log in, and this is the interface for the student, and they will have in the to-do list a number, as many assignments as they have pending. So that is how the student knows that they need to complete an assignment in Wonders. So once the student clicks in there, they find this. And here is the assignment that it was sent. The student needs to open it here in the gear. When the student clicks in the gear, in there, so this is what the student sees. Open this resource. So click in there and the resource open. When the resource is open, most of the resources are interactive. So, okay, no, let me put the cursor here so I can move it. Okay, oops. I'm not mastering this Zoom yet. So, okay, here we go. Okay, you see down here, they have all this bar. And in these bars, they can write text. They can use the writing features. You see them. You can see it now because I'm presenting. But down here, there is a toolbar. It's very important when the student finish doing their work, they need to save it. They need to save it here because that is how they are going to submit it. Okay. So the student finished the work, they save it. Okay. Now, when they save it, the work that was in this area now appears also in this area where it says add a resource. That means the student already saved it. So this is the work that she did, is in there. Now, before they submit, they can write something here to the teacher and the teacher will receive it. They will write, oh, I didn't understand it, or I only could complete half, or I have a question about number 5, whatever they want. Then they submit. And when they submit, they ask them for confirmation. They do okay. And then this is the part where the teacher can find the work. Okay, the teacher assigned the work. The student received the work already. The student complete the work, save the work, submit the work. Now, where do I find it? So we go up there to the binder, and we are going to go to my student work. once we click in my student work, we have this window open. What I have to choose is the student that I want to check if the work is done. So I look, when I click here, I will have all my students, and then I click in the work of, in this case, it was Serenity that finished that work. I click, and here appears the work, and I see what she did. Okay, let's see this in action. Let me go and assign something. Okay, so we are going to assign, let me see, whatever is in there, it doesn't matter. Let's go in presentation. And let me assign something. Oops, I keep going back. So let me go. As I said, we can assign from here. Okay. I'm going to assign this, share reading. Okay, here is the activity that I would like to assign. If I want to see it, I click on it and it will open. But I don't need to see it because I know it's a reading. I go over here and I'm going to share with Google Classroom. And this screen appears. Now I'm going to choose my class. I have several classes in here. If you only have one, it will appear only one. I choose a second grade, Miss Serrano class. I'm going to choose an action. What action I'm going to do? I'm going to create an assignment. I go, and here is the assignment. So for who is going to be? Okay, it's going to be for all the students, so it's going to be for one student. I think I'm going to choose Serenity because in case he receive it, the points is there, due date. Let me see. I'm going to probably here, I mean, today is Friday. They give me a Monday. Yeah, I'm going to choose Monday. Okay, topic, where I'm going to put it. It's a reading. I'm going to put it in my readings. Okay, I have it ready. I have Maria Celebrate Brazil. I'm going to write some instructions. I'm going to do step 1, read the book. Step 2, write a different ending, for example. Okay, so I have it ready. Okay, I'm going to assign. Okay, it's done. I can view it. Okay, right there. Okay, write the class. I'm going to classwork. I'm going under reading, and look, Maria Celebrates Brazil. Here it is. So I'm not going to mess up with Miss Serrano class. I'm going to delete it. And I'm not going to mess up with Serenity neither. So I'm going to delete my assignment because this is a real class. Okay, and that is how we assign work from Wonders in connection to Google Classroom. Now, if I wanted to assign any other, this one, not through Classroom, the same thing, and I assign this resource from here. But it's going to, and I follow exactly the same steps. But then the student is going to receive this through their portal of Wonders. Okay. So that is that part. Any questions?
Just a quick comment, Anna. Mostly, I actually wrap up a whole bunch of questions into one because we get these in our department. But it looks like the solution, the big concern was that a lot of people were assigning things to Classroom like you showed, but they didn't know that the students needs to be logged into HM in the portal so that they don't, so that so that then when they click on that link, it'll take them straight to the activity instead of getting the pop-up window that says for them to log in. So the idea here is to first have the students go into the portal, log into the portal, and then log into HM, and then they would launch Classroom or they would launch Classroom so that they can view the activity.
Yes,
right?
yes. They need to have both open. They need to be logged in, because if they aren't logged in, they cannot access things. So if they log in, they won't have any screen. It will go straight to all the steps.
And thank you for those of you that are sharing workarounds. Thank you for writing that into our Livestream PD questions. That's workarounds. So we had actually a workaround for Seesaw that Ana Castillo shared. Sally, do you want to take over that?
Yes, really quickly. You don't have to stop sharing, Ana. Mine will take over really quickly, but this is from Ms. Castillo at Frank Paul. She sent me this example as like a workaround for Seesaw. And so she made an activity, as you can see, in Seesaw as a choice board. And so one of the updates that we had given you all for Seesaw was that now inside of a post for Seesaw, you can link different elements. And so you can see here that she has a bunch of different options for her students as a choice board. And one of the choices that she's given her students is an spelling activity for wonders. And so you'll see that she just had this image and she has linked, again, it's that same link to the activity so that when students were to get to their activity on Seesaw, they would essentially just click on that link and it redirects them to that activity inside of Wonders. But again, the same principle applies here.
They need to be logged in.
Exactly. You're going to get that login page with a username and password if students have not already logged in. But it seems like the linking is going to work the same way in Seesaw. So for anybody who's using Seesaw, there's an example for you from Ms. Castillo. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Castillo. Thank you, because that is a question that I always receive, and I said we need to find ways, because I know it doesn't link directly. And the problem that most of the people were having is, no, it doesn't take them, is because they didn't log into Wonders first. So if the student log in always into Wonders, it doesn't matter if they are going to use Classroom or Seesaw, then they have that capability. Okay.
Perfect.
Any other questions?
I think that took care of a bunch of them. And just a little heads up, Anna, that we're getting pretty close to the end. So if anybody has
I just have a couple more things to do.
Perfect.
Any other question?
I think you can keep going.
Good. Perfect. Okay, so finally, the third part that we are going to do is what resources are we going to find to do a little bit of differentiation, or where are the resources there?
Sorry not to interrupt, but you might have to reshare your screen.
Yeah. I have to present. Thank you. Thank you. So if we go over here, and in my screen is resources are there, but usually resources are over here because I'm using the publisher. So if we go to the resources, as I said, we have resources in two ways. We talk about that all our resources for the week and all our resources for the day.
Sorry to interrupt. It looks like it didn't engage the fact that you're still presenting. So can you stop your presenting and share your screen again?
Okay, let me see. Yeah. Okay. Okay, I'm presenting now. Let me know if...
Yes, you are. Thank you.
Good, perfect. Thank you. Sorry for that. Let's go back. We were in resource. Let's present now. Okay, so we have the resource in this page. So we talked already that over here, we have all the resources for the week or for the days, but there is another area also. Over here, we have other resources that we can use, and that is where we are going to find the level readers. if we go over here, you see the level readers. And also I can find the level readers in presentation, because it will be the level reader that is for that week. But if I want to find more or several, I go over in this part over here, down there. So that is what I said. Okay, so here we have many different resources that is worth it to explore. Today we have time only to explore the level readers because I wanted to give you that differentiation. But just go and they have videos, they have games, they have vocabulary cards, student materials for writing, for reading, for close reading, many different ones. So if we select the level readers, then this window opens and I can select the level readers depending on the level of my students. I can select the ones that are approaching, that are the color orange. You cannot see because the screen is too bad. Okay, so when I select the level readers, if I want to select the ones that are for approaching, they are in the orange color. The ones on level, they are blue. Beyond, they are green, and the ones for English language learners are purple. I also can select the level readers by Lexile or by the level of reading for Fountains and Pinel. It has a letter. All this appears over here, and I can select them. I also can assign from the book simply from the resources. Now, let's say that I want to have more level readers that appears when I do my selection in here. If you go down here, you find this area that it says more level readers. So when you do that, you find a different search. It's a more advanced search. And here you can find science and social studies. So you just wanted to look for a title or an author or a keyword. You just content area, you just select areas here. The genre, the skill, the text feature, and do an advanced search, and you will find more level readers there. In the resources, you have these two books. These aren't interactive activities, but you can assign the whole book. And if you want to assign the whole book for those students that they need a little bit more practice, you can tell them, okay, go and complete page 30 from your approaching book. Or the ones that they need a little bit more enrichment, because you need to expand their knowledge, you can assign the other one. And you said, okay, guys, you finish your work. If you want, you have this Meidus. Go to page such and such. So you can assign those books too for activities, for differentiation. And finally, you can upload your own files. If you have files for differentiation that you would like to have here, you can upload it there where it says My Files. Let me bring it a little bit up. So you said you have My Files there. Also, you have My Favorites. You can check on the yellow star, and every book that you want to have under your favorites or any activity, it will end there. That is a good way also to have, and click on the yellow star, like follow the yellow brick road. Any questions? With that, we finish the presentation, so we have still 1 minute for questions.
I think we're actually good. One of the, it's a kudos to you, and I think a lot of the questions that actually did come up, you answered along the way. And so we didn't explicitly ask some of the questions, but that was on purpose just because in your explanation, you covered all of that. So it's just a word for anybody who was wondering like, hey, where did my question go? It's just because you answered it in your explanation.
Okay. So if there is no more questions, thank you very much for joining me. If you would like to explore other areas, like there is the tab for professional development is wonderful. I'm going to tell you it has videos from Shanahan and videos from Fisher about different instructional strategies. If you want to explore the writing part of the assessment part, just write it in your question form, and I will prepare future trainings on that or future presentations. So let us know what you need. And if you don't have further questions, thank you very much for joining me and have a wonderful weekend.
Thanks so much, Anna. And just a last little note for everybody. A reminder that we're having our tech conference coming up on October 12th. And so we're still accepting presentation proposals. And so if anybody wants to submit a session, again, just consider maybe sharing your story with us. We're all working together, trying to figure everything out together. And so if you could just share your story with the rest of your colleagues, I'm sure everybody would much appreciate any point of view from everybody. And so if you still want to submit a session, you can still do that and join us. Our reminder of just of our office hours, because we switched to the live stream to Fridays. So now we have office hours on Wednesdays and Thursdays from 1 to 3. The link is still bit.ly/LSL help as usual. You can find it in the email that gets blasted out every Wednesday. If you need anything, drop by. And last but not least, thanks so much for being here with us. As our usual reminder, be good to yourself, be good to each other, and be good to our kids. We will see you all next week. Thanks so much.